Welcome everyone to IELTS reading explanation video. Today I'll be explaining Bats to the Rescue, how Madagascar's bats are helping to save the rainforest. This passage is from book 17, test 4. As you can see, we have question number 1 to 6, true false not given, and the remaining 7 questions are from fill in the blanks. So it should be quite straightforward. Let's just look at the first question. Many Madagascan forests are being destroyed by attacks from insects. What do you think is the key phrase for this question? If you thought Madagascan forest, then since we already have that word in the heading of our passage, we cannot use that as our key phrase. So the only option is insects. And we are going to search for insects in the passage. You can find insects paste on the fourth line. Let's look at the question. Many Madagascan forests are being destroyed by attacks from insects. So insects are basically destroying a lot of Madagascan forest. So what do they say about the insects or the damage to the Madagascan forest in the passage? There are few places in the world where relations between agriculture and conservation are more strained. Madagascar's forests are being converted to agricultural land at a rate of 1% every year. Much of this destruction is fueled by the cultivation of the country's main staple crop, rice. So, according to the passage, they are destroying the forest. The biggest reason for destruction of the forest is cultivation of rice, and a key reason for this destruction is that insect pests are destroying vast quantities of what is grown by local subsistence farmers, leading them to clear forests to create new paddy fields. So, what the passage is saying is that the insects are destroying rice fields of the farmers, and since the productivity of the farm is decreasing, farmers in turn are destroying the forest to grow the farm. It's a long way of saying that question number 1 is false. Insects are not damaging the forests, insects are damaging the agriculture, which in turn damages the forest. As I said, our answer is false. Question number 2. Loss of habitat has badly affected insectivorous bats in Madagascar. We are going to search for loss of habitat. We found our answer for question number 1 in this region. We are going to search for question number 2 in the lower areas. Devastating habitat, insectivorous bats. We can see our key phrases in the passage in these areas. What does the question say? The loss of habitat has badly affected insectivorous bats. So basically insectivorous bats are in disadvantage due to loss of habitat. The result is devastating habitat and biodiversity loss on the island. But not all species are suffering. In fact, some of the island's insectivorous bats are currently thriving. Passage uses the word thriving. When they say thriving, it means the organism is not suffering. In fact, it has a lot of advantage at the moment. So it's basically growing, right? It's progressing. You can say that. It's false. Question number 2 is false. Question number 2 says the bats have a disadvantage, whereas the passage clearly says bats have advantage and they are thriving. Ricardo Roca. I'm just going to search for Ricardo Roca without anything. Now I will read question number 3. Ricardo Roca has carried out studies of bats in different parts of the world. So what do they say about parts of the world? The answer for question number 3 is not given. Basically, if you read the question, it says that the person has carried out studies in different parts of the world. And if you look at the passage, they talk about Ricardo Roca, they talk about his research in Madagascar and the bats, but they never mention what he did in other parts of the world, which is asked by the questions. So we don't know what he has done or hasn't done in the other parts of the world. So our answer is not given. Question number 4, we are going to search for habitat modification. I think that's the easiest one to find. We can find habitat modification in this line, third one from the last. Habitat modification has resulted in indigenous bats in Madagascar becoming useful to farmers. We're going to see what they have to say about the farmers. Co-leading an international team of scientists, Roca found that several species of indigenous bats are taking advantage of habitat modification to hunt insects swarming over the country's rice field. They include Madagascar. For question number 4, the answer is true. Obviously, they have never said the condition is advantageous for farmers in the passage, but if you refer to the first paragraph, we can see the insects are destroying vast quantities of rice fields, and since these bats are eating those insects, I think the damage on the field is reducing, so which is a benefit for the farmers. So answer will be true. Question number 5, the Malagasy mouse-eared bat. We're going to search for that one. Malagasy mouse-eared bat. The Malagasy mouse-eared bat is more common than other indigenous bat species in Madagascar. They include the Malagasy mouse-eared bat, measured long-fingered bat, the Malagasy white-bellied free-tailed bat, and Peter's wrinkle-lipped bat. These winners of the as you saw, for question number 5, we don't have information. We don't know what type of bat species is the most predominant one or the most common one. So we cannot say if question number 5 is true or false. So the only other option is not given. Bats may feed on paddy swarming caterpillars and grass webworms. I already saw this in the second last paragraph. And if you read the sentence, it's quite simple. Bats are preying on these insects, so bats are feeding on these insects. Hence, the answer for question number 6 is true. Question number 7. We can search for DNA or we can search for Ranomafana National Park, which is located right above question number 7. Obviously, I'm going to search for this as well as DNA. And we can find Ranomafana National Park in the last paragraph, and in the first paragraph of the second page we can find DNA. Question number 7, DNA analysis of bat blank. So according to question number 7, these researchers are analyzing something of bat. Let's look at the passage. They next use DNA barcoding techniques to analyze droppings. So they are analyzing the droppings of bats. If you don't know what droppings are, they are generally bird poops. In this case, bat poops. For question number 7, I think it's quite easy. We have to find rice, sugarcane, nuts, and fruit. Rice, we have nut, we have fruit, and sugar, and the other plant in this section is coffee. So I think our answer will be coffee. We don't even need to read the list because as you can see, it's clearly list of plant names: rice, coffee, sugarcane, nuts, and fruits. And the only plant remaining in the passage is coffee. For question number 9, we're going to search for black flies. Black flies, black flies, black flies. Prevent the spread of diseases. Prevent the spread of disease by eating. These bats are eating black flies as well as other something, right? We are going to find what that is. Malagasy bat feed not only just on crop pest but also on mosquitoes, carrying malaria, as well as black flies. So our answer is mosquitoes. Question number 10. They provide food. We are going to search for something that is closely related to food. Source of protein. This seems right. For question number 10, I think the right answer is protein. As you can see, the bats are rich in protein. Bats become a crucial source of protein, or bats provide food that is rich in protein. The buildings, we are going to search for buildings. They roost. Basically, they are living in their building. The building in roosting. Sometimes roost in buildings. The building where they roost become. So the building is becoming something. Bats sometimes roost in building but are not welcome there because they make them unclean. So they are making them unclean. Question number 12. They play an important role in local. They are essentially scarabs ancestors, so they can be very, make them very significant. Important role in the culture of the people, or the role in the local culture. Recommendation: farmers should provide special. Farmers need to provide special something. So what do they say about the farmers? Bats are benefiting from these bats are. So basically what farmers are doing is farmers are making bat houses, or in this case our answer to question number 13 is special houses. That is the end of this passage. I will continue with next passage on the next video. If you want to watch that, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.